let's get a move on then. Start talking about all the important global news and updates that are headed your way this morning, and a rather important week when it comes to central bank announcements. The two-day FOMC meeting all set to begin today. The central bank is largely expected to hold rates steady. However, all eyes will be on Jerome Powell for cues on further rate cuts by September. Important to note here, Fed officials have been acknowledging a declining trend in inflation as it edges closer to that 2% target. Meanwhile, the Bank of Japan is expected to raise its benchmark rates and trim down buying Japanese bonds. The quantum of both actions unclear. You also have Bank of England that will be in focus on the back of its policy stance this week. So watch out for all three major central bank announcements coming.
Well, absolutely. And tech major Apple has also released its first developer betas of iOS 18.1, iPad OS 18.1, as well as Mac OS Sequoia 15.1, coupled with an early version of their highly anticipated Apple Intelligence features. This marks the first time developers can test Apple's foray into generative AI on their devices. Apple Intelligence is an important initiative for the company as well, mind you, and investors hope the tight integration of AI with Apple's operating system can spur a big wave of upgrades in the coming years. So definitely something to keep an eye on, Sneha.
Absolutely. Let's get a move on then and talk about earnings then. McDonald's is in focus. They've reported a surprise drop in global comparable sales for the first time since 2020. Now remember, the burger giant has struggled to hold back budget-strapped customers for opting for cheaper meals at home. Sales declined 1% in the second quarter, the first one in 13 quarters, versus analyst estimates of a 0.5% rise. Remember, shares of the company have tanked 15% this year and fell 1.5% in pre-market.
Moving on then, Heineken shares declined after the brewing giant's first half profit growth came in weaker than analysts had expected. Beer sales, which were expected to grow at 3.4%, rose by just 2.1%. The Dutch company also recorded a net loss, which it attributed to its investment in China's CR Beer, which has suffered a share price decline as well. Operating profit as well showed organic growth of 12.5%, below the company's consensus forecast of 13.2%. So Snehi, no toast that they're raising at this point.